A unique high school football season in Washington that began with games that were postponed because of snow back in early February, finished in the warm April sun. The North Puget Sound League and Metro League were the only two still playing in what was officially called Week 9 of the 2020-2021 season. KENT-MERIDIAN looking for their first win in the NPSL 3A on Thursday. Brendan Agbayani with the quick hit to Alan Brayflat, who turns it into a 48-yard gain. KENTLAKE got a field goal out of the drive. Jaden Saili trying to jumpstart KENT-MERIDIAN. A nice run for 26 yards, but the Royals offense couldn't convert. Their defense kept them in the game early, the inside screen, but it doesn't escape Thando Wenkosi Prosper Molonga. They call him Tui for short, who makes a nice wrap for the tackle for loss. KENTLAKE, though, would shake it off. Agbayani finds Brayflat again. One-handed catch for a 69-yard touchdown to put the Falcons up 3 scores. But he would get one-upped in the one-handed grab department on the next drive. Abdil Okon-Salido lays out with a left hand and hauls in the touchdown. Might be the best catch of many good catches all season. Agbayani with 4 touchdowns in the first half alone. The Falcons salvage a 3-3 record this season with a 52-13 win over KENT-MERIDIAN. Also on Thursday, NPSL 4A. Decatur had a chance at a 500 season, but only if they could steal a win over Federal Way. Eagles go with the Wildcat formation. Tavita Takai goes 6 yards in for the score. Federal Way would go with a more traditional route on the next possession. Tyler Ma'alona to Max Meager. This good from 43 yards and a 22-0 lead at halftime. All the good fortune seemed to favor the Eagles. Stefan Falatogo gets wrapped up, just pitches the ball back to Ma'alona. Not quite the way they planned it, but it's a 17-yard touchdown in the scorebook. Federal Way was in command. The Golden Gators would finally wake up in the third quarter. J.C. Clay caps a nice drive with a 10-yard touchdown run to get Decatur on the board. Their defense finally got a turnover when a tipped ball ended up in the hands of Cyrus Guyton. It was 28-6, so there was still a chance, but Federal Way put things to bed in the fourth quarter. Takai caps the scoring for the Eagles. Federal Way finishes 3-3 after a 34-18 win. The Metro League Championship on Friday featured a rematch from earlier in the season. It took 41 years for Seattle Prep to beat O'Day. Friday, they tried to make it 2 wins over the Irish in 4 weeks. Looking good early. Jake Sipe to Braden Smith. That's been the combo that's clicked for the Panthers all season. A touchdown on the opening drive gave Seattle Prep the early nod. But Jason Brown in the running game has turned O'Day's early season struggles all the way around. 49 yards on this score to tie the game. Next drive, Brown good on a 4-yard touchdown to grab the lead. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground in the game. O'Day's defense is the other reason for the turnaround. Derek Payton gets inside for the sack. The offensive line controlled the contest on the other end for the Irish. Taj Dials, a 20-yard touchdown run, but really Brown was the show. He was tough to stop. The freshman already has offers from Pac-12 schools, including Washington and USC. 247 yards rushing in the game, 50 yards on this one before he's finally brought down. Everything that went right for Prep in the last 2 months went the other way in this game. 49-7 the final as O'Day avenges the loss earlier this season and runs away with another Metro League championship. The King of Kent title was on the line once again as the Kentwood Conquerors were the visiting team against Kentridge. The Conks could sweep their in-town rivals by knocking off the Chargers. Jackson Proctor finds Kendrick Smith, and with the moves, he turns a nice gain into a great gain. 52 yards on the touchdown. Conks up by 17 heading into the fourth quarter. It looked like they had this one wrapped up. Proctor, the fake, finds Smith again, this time from 27 yards out for the score. The Chargers would finally get a break in the fourth quarter and take full advantage. A fumbled snap, and Dorian Thomas scoop and score off to the races. 84 yards the other way on the touchdown return, and it gave Kentridge new life, and they took advantage. After a turnover on downs, the Chargers went right back down the field. Tyson Brown, quick flip to Jaden Smith. That's good for a 20-yard touchdown. Suddenly it was a 2-possession game. After an onside kick, everything had to go right for Kentridge the rest of the way. They needed a score, and they needed to score fast. Brown with the scramble gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Couple incompletions later, Brown, this time complete Jordan Mallory, finds the end zone. 2-point conversion, no good, but it's a 38-33 game with 3 minutes left. Jackson Proctor has led Kentwood with his arm all season, and he used his legs, though, to win games. A 16-yard scramble helps run out the clock. The Conks finished the season 5-1 and finished second in their division.
Wasn't really how we wanted to play the first half, but, we made those adjustments at halftime, and we just, kept pushing. Our team never gives up. We'll go until the end, so I'm proud of our team.
Well, we went into this season not thinking about wins and losses. Our biggest goal was to get a bunch of kids to play, a bunch of kids to enjoy their senior year, junior year, and sophomore year, and just continue to compete and just love the game. And I think tonight we got to get a lot of guys in the game. A lot of guys got to play. We got all our seniors in, and it was really exciting for them.
I was just happy to get out here with all these guys. Just finish on a good note. We went 5-1. I'm happy about that. And I'm just happy that we got to play as a team and finish out the year strong.
Back to the NPSL 3A, Auburn-Riverside only got to play 4 games, and they wanted at least one win to come against their crosstown rivals. The theme in this game, turnovers and touchdowns. Isaiah Patelo forces the fumble. Caden O'Neal falls on it for Auburn. They couldn't capitalize, but the Ravens would on their next possession. Orona Tayawulili rumbles 17 yards for the touchdown. Trojans answered right back. Amari Goodfellow on the quarterback keeper. Nice fake. It's a 4-yard score. No field goals. Very few punts in this game. Peyton Asaturo to Mike Goforth. 14 yards for another score. This one for the Ravens. No shortage of scoring between the two. Asaturo and Goforth weren't quite finished. Another TD for Riverside. Auburn ended up in a shootout last week with Federal Way and lost, but not this time. Latabrion Chandler pulls down the floater, and the Trojans squeeze out a 3-3 record as they outlast Riverside 58-55. The schedule finished up Saturday with Kennedy and Mount Rainier, and if the Rams were going to get their only win of the season, they'd have to complete the tough task of slowing down the Lancers. Mason Hayes to a wide-open Lamont Richardson, 27 yards to make it 13-0 Kennedy. Now, the Lancers are already tough to beat, and when you turn the ball over, it gets twice as tough. Zuri Alexander gets the pick on the deflection and holds on to change possession. Kennedy takes immediate advantage. The air raid offense can hit teams in so many different ways and do so much damage. Junior Alexander gets loose, 50 yards for the touchdown. Mount Rainier would finally get some momentum in the second quarter. Elijah Brady, nowhere to throw, so he goes to the feet. 18 yards to get the Rams on the board, get a little bit of juice flowing. Hayes didn't make too many mistakes, but he made one on the next drive. Another highlight for the Rams, Kurt Solano making it happen with the interception. The Rams, however, would come up empty and turn it over on downs. Momentum shifted right back to JFK, and Hayes made up for that interception. Good adjustment on this ball from Reed Schumpert. The catch and carry, good for 45 yards and another touchdown. And with no state playoffs or championships, there's a lot of what-ifs and what could have beens, especially for Kennedy and their undefeated 6-0 record, 54-14 to wrap up the season. And it also wraps up our coverage. We thank you for joining us. For more scores and highlights from every week this spring season, visit KIRO7.com.